Clint Hoekstra reporting for the Keep Times. We're here in Barrhead, Alberta, because Member of Parliament Arnold Viersen, his office is right behind us here, after the recent abortion-related Supreme Court decision in the U.S., said publicly that abortion is the greatest tragedy of our time, and that he would like to see the ideals going on down in the U.S. Supreme Court followed here in Canada.
Historic what happened today. The Supreme Court of the United States has overturned the terrible decision Roe versus Wade from 1973. Right here in Canada, 300 babies die every day in Canada, and this is something that is a terrible human rights tragedy in Canada. It's the greatest human rights violation of our time. This is a monumental decision for the Western world, for the United States. The pro-life movement in the United States has been working hard on this for generations, and it feels so good to have a win, have history in the making.
So there's a bunch of people who have come from around central Alberta. Some of them are pro-life, some are pro-choice, to, I guess, discuss this decision. We're here in Barrhead today with
Fiona Lian.
And what brings you here today, Fiona?
Recently, Roe versus Wade was overturned in the U.S. Our local MP celebrated this and voiced his intent to bring reproductive restrictions into Canada. As a democracy, it is his job to represent the majority's voice in his constituency. I wanted to show him that the majority of his constituency does not support that.
Fair enough. And so, are you organizing this group here today?
Yeah, I put up an event on Facebook and it spread like wildfire. So I think you can see that there are a lot of voices on both sides, but it seemed to me that between the support of the United Church, all of these folks here, it looks like that 67% of Canadians was fairly roundedly represented here.
Fair enough. And I noticed down the street there's I believe a pro-life group there as well.
Yeah, they came in counter-protest. They did stay quite respectful, which everyone has a voice. I will not stifle anyone else's right to speak. As far as I know, there was no swearing, no threats, nothing, no real interference, which I appreciate. I appreciate that everyone came out to speak their side, but I think it's pretty overwhelming that the pro-choice side was the majority here today.
So if you had a message for MP Viersen, what would that be?
His job as an elected official is to represent the majority voice in his constituency. We have seen today that that majority voice is pro-choice. So if he continues to support the restriction of reproductive rights, he is literally not doing his job. And as his employers, well, it'll be a couple years, but we'll fire him.
Fair enough. And do you have a message to Albertans as a whole?
I think everyone needs to stand up and see that what happened in the United States can happen here. They are fighting for it to happen here. We need to make our voices known before it's too late.
Thank you for talking to us.
Thank you very much.
Have a good day.
You too.
I'm here today with
Arnold Viersen.
And this is your office behind us?
That is my office, yep.
And so what is your position here?
I am the Member of Parliament for Peace River Westlock.
And how long have you held that position?
Since 2015.
So what do you think, in your opinion, brings people here today?
Today, the Roe versus Wade decision, I made some comments about that, and so there was a rally organized to show some support for my position here today, and counter-protest to that as well.
Fair enough. And how would you summarize your opinion on that matter?
Well, I'm adamantly pro-life, and I've made no bones about that. I look forward to standing up for the human rights of all of humans, starting right from conception. I think that human rights begin at when the human begins, and modern medical science tells us that human beings begin at conception. So I'm happy to do that. I stand up for human rights all around the world. I sit on the subcommittee for international human rights. We do studies on all kinds of things there, and preborn human rights is something that I stand up for as well.
Fair enough. And so, would you say that both groups have been pretty respectful today?
Yes. Yeah. I've had I actually gone out and had a chat with the folks that are on the other side of the issue from me, and unlike Justin Trudeau, I'm happy to go out and talk to folks that disagree with me. It was respectful, and I think to some degree we on the fundamental issue we're not going to agree, but there is common ground to be had, and Canada is a complete void, a legal void when it comes to abortion. There's no regulations around abortion, and so many of them said that they would be fine with a 20-week ban on abortion, like most countries around the world, and many of them are shocked to find out that we have no law at all on abortion. It's not one way or the other.
Fair enough. And do you have a message to pro-life people around Alberta in general?
To pro-life people around Alberta, generally, this Roe versus Wade, overturning of Roe versus Wade shows us that the things are possible. Protecting preborn human rights is possible, and we just have to have the discussion and ensure that human rights are maintained right here in Canada.
And what about a message for pro-choice people?
I would say, reach out. There is common ground. I don't think that I'm as entrenched as many of my opponents say that I am, and let's come to some sort of conclusion on this.
Fair enough. Thanks for talking to us today.
No problem. I'm looking forward to seeing what Keep Times has to say.